Welcome to your Beaufort County News Headlines. I'm Matt Golden, and here are today's top stories. If you're tempted to take a photo of your ballot in a voting booth in South Carolina, don't. It's illegal and could land you in jail, according to the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division. SLED is cautioning voters against taking a ballot selfie or a photo of their ballot, as doing so is against the law in South Carolina, punishable by a fine or up to a year in jail, according to a news release. Under South Carolina law, voters are prohibited from taking photos of their ballot and sharing that photo or allowing their ballot to be seen in any way, the release said. The release said South Carolina voters are not allowed to use a camera inside the voting booth. Early voting occurred at a record-setting pace across the county for late October and early November, thanks to a new way Board of Voter Registration Elections is offering ballots that's been a big hit with residents. Early voting was offered over a 2-week no-excuse period as opposed to voting on the traditional way on Election Day. The process differs from the absentee voting way. That process allows residents to receive a ballot in the days preceding the election, but they must provide an acceptable excuse such as illness or age. The pace of no-excuse early voting has Marie Smalls, who heads the Beaufort County Board of Voter Registration and Elections, excited about this year's voter turnout. As of 1 p.m. on Friday, 56,855 people, or 40% of the county's 141,221 registered voters, had voted already in the election, Small said, which is the highest percentage of early voting the county has seen since at least 2008. We have a record number turnout, Smalls told the Beaufort Gazette and Island Packet. That's a change from what happened before with other previous elections. Early voting was introduced in the midterm election in 2022 and accounted for 20% of the voter turnout, according to the county, but this election is the first time early voting is being tested on a large scale during a presidential election, and a nail-biter to boot, with Democrat Kamala Harris and Republican Donald Trump virtually tied in national polls in the dwindling days of the campaign. A bevy of federal, state, and local races and a $950 million transportation referendum are ramping up the interest as well. While early voting is just 2 years old, Small says the presidential race of 2020 provides somewhat of a comparison to this year's early voting pace. In 2020, in-person absentee voting was higher than usual because restrictions on who could vote absentee were dropped due to the coronavirus pandemic. That year, in-person absentee voting was 33,591 compared to the 56,855 people who voted by 1 p.m. on Friday. As part of Beaufort County's continued effort to provide safe and operable facilities, the county's consultant, McSweeney Engineers LLC, will be conducting above water inspection of the Broad River Fishing Pier as part of the annual inspection program. The inspections are expected to occur Friday, November 8th, weather permitting, and will possibly continue through the weekend. The fishing pier and boat landing will stay open with inspections occur, but the public should expect to see equipment and personnel on the water or near the pier. The public is asked to use caution while in the area. Sections of the pier may need to be closed temporarily while inspections are occurring. For more information, contact Beaufort County Engineering Department at 843-255-2700. For more information on any of these stories, please visit the sources on the screen, and as always, you can head to BeaufortCountySC.gov where you can find press releases straight from Beaufort County. Thanks for tuning in to your Beaufort County News Headlines. Have a great and safe Election Day, Beaufort County.